In 2018, an anime came out called My Hero Academia. It was one of the first animes I ever watched, and it really blossomed my love for anime. This year, My Hero Academia ended. In honor of it ending, we're going to do a challenge in Skyrim. Can you beat Skyrim as Shoto Todoroki? Let's go over some rules for the challenge. In the anime, Shoto Todoroki shoots fire from his left arm and he shoots ice from his right arm. To stay with continuity, we're going to keep doing that with our challenge. We can use any fire or ice destruction spell as long as the fire comes from our left and the ice comes from our right. Next, we cannot use any weapons, no bows, no swords, no axes. You could argue that he uses his fists in the anime sometimes, but we're not going to be using our fists, just fire and ice. We're not allowed to use shouts unless the game requires us to do shouts. For example, when we go to the Greybeards, we have to use Unrelenting Force. When we go up to the Throat of the World, we need to use Clear Skies. At the end of the game, we have to use Clear Skies, and we also have to use Dragon Rend to stop Alduin. So now we're with character customization. I tried my best to make him look like Shoto Todoroki, but also he has a little bit of a Skyrim aesthetic to him. But yeah, really, I tried my best. I thought there would have been a war paint that would have covered the whole like left or right side of the face, and I would have painted that right. This was the best one we could find. And after this, we decided to name him Shoto Todoroki. From this point on, we have the classic Skyrim intro. We go to get our head chopped off just to be saved by Alduin. Everything's pretty much the same. I don't really do anything differently. I don't do any speedrun strat. I really can't even attack anybody in this beginning segment because my hands are bound. But you're about to see shortly that Alduin doesn't care about that, and he keeps pushing me over and breaking my binds. And clearly my character does not need the binds because they're not attached, because every time I get shouted at by Alduin, they just pop off. So what's the point? What's the point? Now, right here, I can't truly tell you what happened. It looked like Alduin faked me out and he tried to kill me, like for real this time. He flew away just to come back and like jump scare me and try to burn me with fire. I don't know why he flew away. Must have been a bug. But you'll see in this video, there are so many bugs. Like, I just constantly run into bugs. I ran into a bug where I couldn't even open a door that I was supposed to unlock for the main quest. Here you go. I get knocked over, and look, my bounds just come right off. They just come right off. And then I walk down here, and then I get knocked over once again. My bounds just don't matter. I don't know why. And then apparently my legs are broken. I don't know. But now we're going to head with Hadvar and go and get out of here. Once Hadvar cuts off our bindings, we go straight for the chest. To get the armor, the sword won't be any need for us. And right here, I finally equipped our flame spell onto our left hand. I had a couple of times trying to equip it to my left hand, and I'd keep on equipping it to my right hand, and I was having a hard time. And here are the first two people we fight. I say fight, but they didn't even really put up a fight. They just kind of sat there and just got blowtorched. I feel really sorry for them because by the time the woman stands up, she's already dead. And she didn't even realize what was happening to her. And this is probably the most I'll ever look like Shoto Todoroki in this challenge. The blue and the white hair and the red. After this, I get covered up a lot. And then we just go through hell again. We're just constantly killing things. Once we get to this little dungeon, we unlock the thing. I don't know what it's called. Like a cage? I guess you'd call it a cage. And then I get some magic robes, which is a pretty good upgrade for us in this challenge since we're using magic. Like I said, we just keep going through Helgen, just killing things, burning people. Right here, I tried to catch this archer on fire, and I completely missed. Now we're going to burn some spiders up. For some reason, they're just not landing. Like I said, plenty of bugs in this video. And, that's how it is, just burning the spiders. If you're a spider lover, I'm sorry. Okay, so once we're out of Helgen, we're going to head straight to Riverwood. But before we go to Riverwood, we have to go do the Guardian Stones. And I'm going to do the Mage Stone because pretty much this whole challenge, we're just going to be using destruction magic. So it's really important for us. Now we meet Hadvar's uncle, ? I think. I don't think it's his dad. I think it's his uncle or something like that. And we talk to him about the Helgen attack, and he tells us to go to Whiterun, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the Riverwood Trader and finally buy our Frostbite spell. So now we finally have our fire and ice powers. And what we do is we go straight to Bleak Falls Barrow because really there's no point to go to Whiterun when it's so close to us right now. So we go in and we're going to attack as many people as possible. And I look like I have a lot of aura right here as I freeze this guy to death. Sometimes when I was fighting, I would just use fire or just use ice because like in the anime, sometimes he favors ice more than fire. Also, right here, we just watch this guy die, and we do this puzzle. And I've done this puzzle so many times, I didn't even have to look up at the top to know how to do it. And this is the point when I realized you can burn fire or burn webs with fire. I thought I would have to pull out a sword or something, but I didn't have to. When we get the guy out, we just burn him before he can really speak because I know he's going to run away. I've played this game hundreds of times, and I just want the golden claw and to be done with this dude. So we grab the golden claw, and we go on our way. This dungeon is just a lot of Draugr that we have to kill. That's pretty much all we have to face. Right here, I get my first level, and I put it into some magicka because we need more magicka during this challenge. And then we're going to go into destruction and get the novice destruction thing since we're using frostbite and flame. It just helps us saves a lot more magicka during this. And we just go through and we just keep killing Draugr. Then we get to the golden claw segment, and we put the code in. Funny enough, I didn't have to look at this either because I've done this one so many times. Once the door opens, we head in and we go learn Unrelenting Force. And now it's a boss fight. I wanted to make it a time lapse so everybody can kind of see how long it took. It didn't take that long. We got him killed pretty quick. If you're wondering, we are playing apprentice mode. So we're not playing a super hard difficulty and we're not playing a very easy difficulty. We're playing like a very down the middle difficulty because I wanted to be a little bit of a challenge. After Bleak Falls Barrow, we head to Whiterun. And once in Whiterun, we go straight to Jarl Balgruuf and tell him what happened at Helgen. He sends us to his court wizard so we can talk about the tablet we found. When we give him the tablet, we find out there was another dragon attack at a watchtower near Whiterun. So they ask us to come with them because we have the most dragon experience. We make it to the watchtower and it's completely destroyed and on fire. And this is when we get into our fight with our first dragon. It's a very easy fight. Not too much to talk about since we have so many guards protecting us. But right here, you can see a guard just randomly fall. And when I pulled him out of the fire, turns out the kid broke his neck. So I felt really bad because I was like, this wimp just fell and died. And then turns out he broke his neck on the fall. So we absorbed the dragon soul. It was a really easy fight. When we get back to Whiterun, we hear a loud scream coming from High Hrothgar. And me and this guard right here really shared a moment. I kept on looking at him and looking back. And then he joined me and looking up. And I thought it was really wholesome and sweet that he looked up with me. He was just feeding into my delusions. Then we went and sold a bunch of our loot. And then we found our wizard. And he was very magical because he was floating above a chair. And we bought the firebolt and the ice spike spell. Now it's time to walk up the 7,000 steps. I made it a long time lapse, so it's proof that I actually did it. And I just wanted to add proof throughout this video that I actually continued to use the fire and ice spell and didn't pull out a sword or use a shout. Right here, we killed the frost giant with a lot of ease. And we still keep on going up. And I thought it was 10,000 steps, but apparently it was only 7,000. And when we get up here, we're finally at High Hrothgar. Once in High Hrothgar, we talk to the Greybeards and we begin to train with our shouts. This is one of the examples where we have to use a shout to do damage, just for the point of the quest. We learn Whirlwind Sprint and we do it. Then, once we're done with our training, they tell us to go get this horn from some ancient ruin. So, we head that way. Once we get to the dungeon, we have to use Whirlwind Sprint for a puzzle. And this feels like a weird incident where you get to use Whirlwind Sprint twice without a cooldown. And I think it was to make the puzzle easier. And once we get to the location of the horn, turns out it's gone, and it tells us we have to go to an inn in Riverwood and ask for an attic room. Once in Riverwood, we meet Delphine, and she tells us to go to the room. And once we go to the room, we take a little nap, and she comes into our room, and she hands us the horn. Apparently, she's the woman we're here to meet, and she tells us a bunch of lore that I didn't really care for because I've played this game 100,000 times. But basically, all we have to do is we have to go to her and go fight a dragon. We run into Alduin again, resurrecting a dragon, and low-key, he's aura farming on us with this shadow right here. I think it's a glitch, the shadow, but it's so much aura. So, we kill the dragon with pretty much no diff. It was very easy. And Delphine's very surprised by us. So, we go to Solitude, and we go talk to one of Delphine's friends. He's going to sneak us into the Thalmor embassy. So we have to give him a bunch of our loot so he can smuggle it in for us. And once we're done with him, we hop onto a carriage to go to the Thalmor embassy. Once we get into the Thalmor embassy, we meet some random Thalmor woman. I think she's important to the overall story because she shows up later, but I don't really know who she is. I met this really cool dude who agreed to go cause a distraction for me so me and my homeboy could go slide out of this place. Once we get inside the embassy, we grab some of our loot from a chest that was stowed away for us, and then we're off to go find some information about the dragons. We kill a lot of people. I'm not entirely sure if these people were innocent or not. I feel kind of bad for teabagging on this guy because he might have just been an innocent man. We found some information about the dragons, but nothing really good enough. So we go and take this guard out, and we find this random dude who looks very malnourished. He looks like he might be like 100 pounds. Poor dude. So we decided to let him go, and he shows us where there's an exit hatch. We tell Esbern about some of the information we found, and we told him we learned about some dude named Esbern. Apparently, Esbern was Delphine's like side chick back in the day, so we decided to go to Riften to go find Esbern. We're hackled by some guards at the front gate, and I really wasn't a fan of that. And then we get into the rat way where the Thieves Guild are located, and we just go straight by them, and we go straight for Esbern. Right here, we level again, and we put some points into health. You can see we're currently level 5, and we decided to put our points into fire and increased frost damage for obvious reasons, and if I have to tell you why, that's very upsetting. So we find Esbern, and he's locked away like Fort Knox, but we get in there pretty easy with our Riz skills. So when he's in there, we're like, hey, what's up, homie? We got to get out of this joint because there's dragons out here. And he's like, bet, let's get out of here. So we introduce the lovebirds back together, and Esbern has a plan. Esbern wants us to go to some location called Sky Haven Temple, which apparently is going to have a wall that's going to teach us a way to defeat Alduin. So we hop onto a carriage ride to go to Markarth because that's the closest city to the place. When we get here, we have to solve a puzzle. And this first puzzle is really easy. I actually don't know the solution. I had to search it up as a kid, but I've never forgot it. Now we got to walk on these tiles, and if we click on the wrong tile, I'm pretty sure we get like blown up or something. And then I got to pull this lever. I have a really hard time pulling the lever. And then there's this blood circle where we have to give some of our blood to it. This scene has a lot of animation to it, and it makes me just kind of disappointed that when you do the companions quest line, you just like cut the wrist of the werewolf and it just plops into a thing of blood. Once the door opened, we head into Sky Haven Temple. So when we find the wall, apparently there's a shout that we can use to take down Alduin. So we take a trip to go find an Elder Scroll. Technically, we're supposed to go to the Greybeards, but I'm going to skip that right now, and I'm going to go straight for the Elder Scroll. So I drop down on this guy, and I ask him for the location of the Elder Scroll. He's very chill about it. He just kind of tells us we got to go to Blackreach, and here we are in Blackreach. It's very beautiful. Top 10 blunt rotation location, if you say so myself. I don't know what that means, but there we go. So we get to the location of the Elder Scroll. We have to walk inside and go up this ramp, and up here we have to do another puzzle. It's a very simple puzzle. Basically, it's idiot proof. You just got to keep pressing these buttons until it just works, you know? And then once you click it enough times, the other one opens up, and now we finally have an Elder Scroll. Now that we have the Elder Scroll, it's time to go to the Greybeards, and we find the Greybeards are doing some weird ceremony. Apparently, we're just a goat like that, and they're just praising us for real. They make me stumble down a little bit, which I wasn't a big fan of. But now, we told them we have to go learn this shout so we can bring down Alduin. So he takes us to the throat of the world, where we meet the best character in Skyrim, Parthenax. He might be top 3. Jazargo, Serana, and Parthenax. Dream blunt rotation right there. So after that, we read the Elder Scroll in front of Parthenax, and we're transported to the past to watch some warriors of old use a shout called Dragon Rend. And Dragon Rend forces Alduin to land so they can actually kill him. Now we're transported back to the real world, where we're face to face with Alduin once again. So we used the new shout we just learned on Alduin to bring him down to the ground. So for this fight, I decided to make it a time lapse, just as proof that I only ever used fire and ice. You can see here I also used fireball and ice spike for the first time in this fight. But yeah, I just wanted to give it proof that I'm genuinely doing this. This is my first time ever doing a video like this. So I kind of wanted to make it more story-based than actually the challenge. Next time we do a video like this, it'll be more about the challenge. But I still want to show y'all that I am doing fire and ice, because I know I'm not showing you a lot. So we beat up Alduin, and he lands on the ground. And he basically tells us, you can't kill us here, Bozo. So he leaves and flies off into outer space. It's probably a good time to say, if you're enjoying this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We're currently on goal for 3,000 subscribers, and we really enjoy it. This video took a lot of effort, so I really hope y'all like it. So now we have one of the most annoying quest lines in this game. It's the meeting between the Stormcloaks and Imperials. So we take our seat at the council, and everybody's here. And for some reason during this thing, General Tullius just kept on just looking at me. I don't know if he has like a school crush on me, but the boy couldn't stop looking at me. So we talked to Esbern after the meeting, and he's like, you have to basically call the dragon. And so he gives us a shout that allows us to call the dragon. So we go to Whiterun and we call Odahviing. I didn't think it worked because it took so long for him to actually show up. I feel like it usually shows up pretty quickly. So I'm talking to my friend, the Whiterun guard, and then all of a sudden, Odahviing actually shows up and steals my best friend and then just drops him right in front of me. And this is when I knew this challenge just got serious. So we use the shout on him so he lands, and we bring his attention onto us so he follows us so that we can trap him in Whiterun. Quick shout out to Jarl Balgr for being the best Jarl in Skyrim. He literally went out there to fight a dragon for us. He didn't have to do that. I could have done that by myself. But what he did, he came out there and fight. So we hop on Odahviing and he takes us to Sovngarde. At least to the portal of Sovngarde, because he can't actually just take us to Sovngarde. He's going to take us close enough, and we're going to have to do the rest of the work from there because he's useless. So he lands us here, and we're ready for the end of the game. So Odahviing drops us off, and we say goodbye to our friend. And now we're going to go into another time lapse. Just like I said before, evidence that I actually am doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I'm using my fire and ice to take out a dragon, a bunch of draugrs. I just want proof so y'all can't say this fool didn't actually do the challenge. I did it, okay? I used fire and ice. Sometimes it was hard and it took a lot of time, but I did it, and I don't want anybody in the comments saying I didn't do it. You know, I spent a whole 2 days recording all this, and I don't want people to say I was fake. Okay, sorry for the little rant. We're back doing some puzzles to open a door so we can go up to the portal. Very easy puzzles. Skyrim has a lot of easy puzzles. None of them are very difficult. So we go through, we kill a bunch of draugrs, and we have to do another little thing. We got to twist these little things around and pull a switch, and then we're here at another door. Very rinse and repeat this game is. And we get another claw. I'm pretty sure this is the diamond claw. So we grab the diamond claw and we put it in and we shoot it with our fire and ice. We don't actually have to do that. I just did it for fun because I thought it would be cool. And it was cool. So if anybody in the comments say it wasn't cool, you must be really fun at parties, okay? So we go fight one of the dragon priests. Very easy fight. I don't know why he was already almost dead when we got up here. I don't know who he picked a fight with before us. We take him down very easily, and we grab his dragon priest mask and the staff. This dragon priest mask is actually really good for us. More magicka, and we get less for destruction, which is the primary spell we use. So we hop into Sovngarde. So I said Blackreach was a dream blunt rotation, but let's be so real, Sovngarde's probably the top of that list. So what we do is we just run through and we use our clear sky shout to clear up the path. We see Alduin for just a moment, and then we have to fight this dude. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. The sun? Okay. It was a really easy fight. We didn't even have to actually kill him. We just had to get him to half health. He was basically like, you actually him for real. Can you just cross this bridge for me? So I crossed the bridge, and when I get inside, I meet by Ysgramor himself. The man, the myth, the legend. The guy that everybody worships in Skyrim for some reason. Then I meet the warriors of old that taught me the shout. So we all band together and we're going to go kill Alduin. So we head outside, and what we have to do once we're outside is we have to use our clear sky shout to clear the clouds. We have to do this 3 times so Alduin can show up and we could fight him. So we finally clear the skies so Alduin can spawn. And now it's time for the final boss battle. And I'm going to let this play out like normal. I think I sped it up just a little bit, but not extremely. But I just wanted to sit here and thank you all for watching if you watched this far enough in the video. Truly, this video took a lot of time to make. I didn't even know I was capable of making something like this. And I'm sorry if my audio doesn't sound good or the way I speak sounds weird, because legitimately, I can't read a script to save my life. So I didn't do a script. This is all just instinct, just stuff that was coming out. I don't really have a nice headset. I don't even have a microphone. I'm using a headset. But we beat Alduin, and that's pretty much the end of the challenge. Technically not the end of the game because we still have to go back home. But can you beat Skyrim as Shoto Todoroki? Turns out you can. And truly from the bottom of my heart, if you're watching this far into the video, thank you so much. This video was so fun to make, and I just wanted to express my love for anime, but also my love for Skyrim for this video. I hope this video does really great. If it doesn't, it's okay. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep trying. And then we end the game by talking to Parthenax. But thank you all so much, guys. Can you beat Skyrim as Shoto Todoroki? Yes. Not a shadow of a doubt. You could do it. If you like this video and it gets enough support, I might do a part 2 where we beat Dawnguard or the Dragonborn DLC as Shoto Todoroki. But if this video gets enough support, if it gets 100 views and 10 likes, I will do this challenge again. Not this similar challenge, another challenge. You know what I mean. Bye, y'all.